Well, it began 12 years ago when a journalist here at France 24 uncovered a series of letters and photographs from World War II. It led to a documentary recounting the story of a family deported from their home in Paris and taken to Auschwitz. Well, today the family is being remembered with a special tribute. Joining us now from Boulogne, just outside of Paris, is our Catherine Norris Trent. Catherine, first of all, tell us more about this family and the ordeal they went through.
Hi there, Monty. Yes, this is a very tragic tale, which reminds one rather of the Anne Frank story, except this centres on a young girl named Louise Pikovsky, who was 16 when she and her entire family were deported from where they were living in the greater Paris region to Auschwitz, where they were gassed. But Louise, like Anne Frank, had left a written trace behind her, this time in the form of letters which she'd written to a beloved teacher and which were saved and then unearthed after more than 70 years in a cupboard in her old school. And they formed the basis for an investigation, a documentary produced by France 24 called If I Ever Come Back, some of Louise Pikovsky's last words. And we can take a look at an extract of that documentary now.
On January 22nd, 1944, French police knocked on the Pikovskys' door. They gave them 1 hour to pack their belongings. Louise had time to race to Miss Malingray's house to return her Bible and write one last letter.
Nous sommes tous arrêtés. Je vous laisse les livres qui ne sont pas à moi et aussi quelques lettres que je voudrais retrouver si je reviens un jour. Je pense à vous, au père, à Mademoiselle Arnold, et je vous embrasse. Louise.
Father, mother, and all 4 children were driven to the Drancy internment camp. Record cards were drawn up for each of them. Less than 2 weeks later, they were listed for deportation on Convoy 67. Along with 2,200 others, the Pikovskys were bused to Bobigny train station. In World War II, Bobigny was the main point of departure for trains headed from France to the death camps. After a 3-day journey in wagons made for animals, they arrived at Auschwitz in Poland. There are no records of the Pikovsky family at Auschwitz, which suggests they were sent straight to the gas chambers. Louise was 16 years old. So the letters don't end up forgotten in another school cupboard. The teachers donated them to the Shoah Memorial in Paris. They're now kept safe in the archives. Anyone who visits the memorial can read them.
Yeah, really an incredible story there, Catherine. So there was a tribute to the Pikovsky family there in Boulogne, where you are today. What can you tell us?
There were members, some surviving members of the Pikovsky family who are here, distant relatives, cousins. They were very moved by this ceremony today, as saying that in some way it's as though Louise has been brought back through her memory, her words being kept alive in this way. Indeed, there was one cousin who'd come from Belgium who only discovered what had happened to this branch of her family after the investigation and this documentary. There is also a plaque which is being put up on the building where Louise and her family once lived, so that passers-by will also have a chance to realise and remember what happened. School children from her former school read aloud some of her letters, a very moving tribute, and indeed lots of people in the room were in tears, as the chief rabbi of France said that even in 2002 the path towards such hate was still open, and the world must remember that people in France, children must remember, so that such things don't happen again. You know, some 75,000 Jews from France, under Vichy France at the time, were deported to their deaths in Auschwitz and elsewhere.
Yeah, it sounds like it was a pretty emotional ceremony there. Catherine Norris Trent in Boulogne. And of course, if you want to watch that documentary, you can log on to our website, france24.com. Thanks, Catherine.